Thank you. Now I'd like to recognize the chair of the full committee, Dr. Foxx.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I thank our witnesses for being here. And Mr. Courtney, maybe WIOA in 2014 wasn't the 10 Commandments, but like the 10 Commandments, WIOA has not been honored as we had hoped it would be. I think I point out all the time that all we've ever needed, we don't need all these laws we've passed now, all we've ever needed was the 10 Commandments. Everything, every action we take could be contained within the 10 Commandments. So unfortunately, WIOA has not been adhered to like 10 Commandments haven't been. Ms. Logan, you recommend dedicating WIOA funding toward what I like to call individualized education accounts. I don't use the T word, and work-based learning. What impact would it have for job seekers and employers if a greater share of WIOA dollars were consistently available for upskilling?
We believe it would allow us to serve more people, that having more dollars of the allowable dollars dedicated to skilling programs would help us to serve more people and prepare them for available jobs.
Right. And everybody has said, including Mr. Holzer, that too much money is going to administrators. Bureaucrats feather their own nest with WIOA money, and that's the reason only about 20% to 30%. I saw that when I was a community college president, and we've been frustrated by breaking that mold. Mr. Palish, in 2020, DOL established a website to increase transparency and accountability in the workforce system. Yet almost 3 years later, the site still lacks basic performance data on most eligible programs and providers. Why don't we have the data? What will it take to fix it? And what does this say about the current state of accountability in the system?
Thank you for your question. And I think it's important to note that I was the one who launched that website because I knew coming from the state of Kentucky that the training programs in Kentucky were not performing.
You mean the education programs?
I'm sorry, yes. The eligible education programs, yes. So I knew that we were providing customer choice to individuals, but we were giving them bad choices. And if the state of Kentucky didn't know whether the programs were good or bad, and if the Department of Labor doesn't know whether the programs are good or bad, how can we possibly expect the individual job seeker to know? So I think that is the crux of what we're here to talk about, is making sure we can talk about funding levels, but putting more money into a system that doesn't have the accountability and doesn't have the performance isn't going to generate the results we want it to.
Thank you for that. That's a wonderful way to say it.
Yeah, we have to clean up the process first, and we have to leverage work-based learning and on-the-job training and incumbent worker training. We have to leverage apprenticeships. And then those programs that are on the ETPL, we have to make sure those are the highest performing programs. And then we can infuse more money to make sure that individuals are being pushed and directed towards programs that are going to succeed.
Thank you. Mr. Ferguson, you discussed how cutting down on administrative waste in the system, which I've alluded to already, and so has everybody else, will allow local workforce boards to focus more funding on skills development. Do you believe consolidating similar workforce programs would make the system more efficient and empower local leaders to achieve better results?
Very simply, yes.
Well, that's a succinct answer, and we appreciate that. Again, we worked on that in 2014 with what we did with WIOA. Ms. Ferguson, Ms. Logan, I'd like to come back to you. Several years ago, IBM instituted a program, I understood, in Bedford-Stuyvesant in high schools, where they began with high school students. And you may not be aware of this program, and if you're not, that's okay. But my understanding was, and I can't remember what they called it, but where IBM went into the high schools and developed the curriculum. Students enrolled in the 9th grade and went through for 4 years. And my understanding was at the time, and it's been several years since anyone's talked with me about it, that at the end of the 4 years, they were guaranteed an interview, not guaranteed a job, but guaranteed an interview. Could you, if you have information, would you bring us up to date on that? And if you don't, could you send it after the hearing?
I'd be happy to send more information after. That's our Pathways and Technology Education Program. It's the P-TECH program.
T-Tech, that's it.
Yeah, it's an early college high school model. It's a career to high school pathway. There are many Pathways high school models now out there, and we believe it includes high school plus work-based learning plus higher ed. Those students earn an associate's degree. They get internships at IBM. They also have work-based learning while they're in high school. That's a wonderful model for high school, and I'm happy to talk afterwards more about that.
I happen to think that this is actually the model that we need to be following in our country everywhere. North Carolina is doing a great job on early college, and we give free community college courses to high school students, and many students now are graduating from high school with their high school diploma as well as an AA or an AAS degree and credentials so that they can go immediately into a job. And I really think we can't wait till students graduate from high school to start working on helping them gain the skills they need for a productive career. Thank you again. I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, I went over, but
Thank you, Dr. Fox,